Great day, everyone. I'm Dr. Levi Rosier, and welcome to our Mission Critical podcast. I know you normally see Minister Tawana Cummins that normally host this for us, and I'm just the sidekick. But today, I'm going to do the hosting. I brought along some of our men from church and just going to have a conversation today about the criticality of a man. Basically, we're going to allow you guys to join our conversation. To my left, all my left is Tim. They call him Tim. All right, you cool with Tim? Then we got Derek.
Good afternoon.
And I don't know your nickname again, sir. Your nickname again.
It's Los, Pastor. Los. It's Los.
Lucy, I don't know.
It definitely ain't Lucy. Los.
Nobody like to notice. His name is Los. We call him Carlos, but Mr. In the feed you say Los. But listen,
LOS.
LOS. But a man, you gotta spell his name correctly. Listen, you can tell already it's gonna be an off the cuff conversation, and here's what I like about it, guys, is that sometimes it's hard to see men still be men in the church. Sometimes we try to make sure we stay upright, respectful, and look good, and try to make sure we dot our I's and cross our T's. And that's really because we honor God, we love God so much, and so we try to make sure we respect God at a greater level. But today, we want to really come off and just give a conversation to show people we do that, but we want to have a conversation about why is it hard sometimes to appear that it's hard for a man to surrender. You know, we like what we like. You can tell even right now on this table, you see, we played spades earlier. I ain't gonna tell you who won. Me and Derek are on, but me and Derek won. But if you're a man out there, we want to talk because we talked on a Sunday, guys, about how it's hard to defeat a surrender man. And when I talk about surrender, I mean talking about letting go of something. You know, letting go of something. You know, why is that hard sometimes for us to really let go? Whether that's money, marriage, you know, whether when I was single, you know, out there doing my thing, you know, it was hard to give up sin. That's all surrender. Why do you think sometimes it's hard for us to really let go?
I think one of the first things, it can create a level of anxiety for you.
Wow.
Now that's my statement.
Wow. That's pretty good. Anxiety. In what way though?
You just don't know what's to come. Things can be unexpected. You can't see it, and that's where faith come in. And I know for me personally, when I don't know what's coming, you get in your head, you trying to figure it all out. Should I surrender? What does surrendering look like?
Do that sound like a little bit of control?
As far as what, Pastor?
Well, you know, especially as a man. I mean, I grew up without my dad. Y'all know my story. My dad. So without having a dad, I do tend to want to control a lot of narratives.
Okay.
You know, try to make sure my kids don't end up like I did. That's them things, that money, all that. So as much as I want to say I surrender sometimes, I struggle with that. I'm not gonna do that. It's not a fake podcast. So there are times,
right.
even as a man, pastor, dad, I struggle with, you know, surrender. I just do. You know, it's not a one-time step, one stop shop where you got it together. You may surrender one area of your life good.
Right.
You may struggle. And I like what you said there, you know, anxiety. What do you think about Derek?
Me personally, I've thought about this in the past. It's a vulnerability. I think you said the same thing. Probably have a similar upbringing for us. I was raised without a father, so we can be vulnerable to our Savior, but it's hard to be vulnerable to human nature.
That's good.
Your kids, your wife, your friends, and people that look at you as a leader. It's hard to show that vulnerability. I think that's what
when we say vulnerability, you think they're gonna see something inside of us that we don't want them to see, or
it would be natural for them to see it. It'd be natural for us to show it. However, mankind itself, we don't want to show a weakness. We look at the vulnerability as a weakness, and that's not necessarily the case.
That's good.
A vulnerability actually can be a strength.
Oh, that's good. That's
because
good.
that way you can get help and help build your mankind of being more vulnerable to certain situations, certain things.
Good. What do you think, Tim?
I think growing up back when I was growing up, it was kind of hard for men to surrender because we grew up to be that guy. So in my end, as far as like, I didn't have that father figure. Just kind of like Pastor said, I didn't get close to my dad till I got older. So I didn't know how to submit or surrender. It was always, I gotta do better than how my dad did me. That was my whole lifestyle. I didn't. Kind of hard for me to talk about it because it's been a lot on me as far as that everything.
Oh yeah. Things
made surrender. It's never been in my cup of tea, to be honest. It just always go.
Well,
That's good. Go ahead.
I was gonna say,
Los. You gotta get the guy's name right.
Really going back to what Derek says, like being scared to be vulnerable because of what society has taught the man. Most of us, if you be vulnerable, and I'm just gonna keep it real, you know, a lot of us young guys, man, you go to being vulnerable, and you acting like a little female. And so as soon as you hear that, I know growing up for me, when I used to hear that, I'm like, so you mean to tell me I can't express how I feel? I got to be seen as a woman because I want to express my vulnerability.
So you put your guards up.
Because of that.
Yeah. Now, I know, as much as I love, I'm a preacher. I love the church. I do. But even the church itself sometimes have not done us well. All right. When I say that, I'm not saying I'm not against surrendering to God. I'm not against that. What I am saying, the church itself alone is a feminine type thing. So the Bible talk about how God is married to the church, meaning make the church a bride, make her a female. All right. But we're men. But the men showing up. So we have to actually go against our nature. It's not even part of our DNA to surrender.
That's right.
That part.
It's not. I mean, it's kind of like a choice. You're going to need help to really give up something. You know, we sit here with these cards, right? I'm tell you, I'm a spade player. Tell you something. I'm a win. So I'm saying I'm gonna win the game. All right. So, but to give up and not like that's like for instance, Derek and I are partners, right? So I would have to show something. I would have to choose to surrender, right? In my card on my side, I know what's in my hand. Now my hand is weak, but my partner got a good one. He like I got 6, 8 strong. I'm like I may get you 2. All right. But now I gotta sit here and play these spades and give up my hand and rely on Derek.
That's correct. Yeah. That's tough to do. That's tough to do. And it's crazy because you use an analogy with the cards, right? And it's good, right? Good segue. The fact that you kind of got to play the hand you were dealt, right?
Ooh, that's good.
I'm similar to you. Came up without a father. My mom did an excellent job, best she could do, and I think she kind of overcompensated sometimes because I didn't have a father.
Okay.
I never saw my mom cry. Never.
Really?
So no, never. I never until I was an adult.
Wow.
I never saw my mom cry. And I think it was the fact that, I didn't have a father and she couldn't be vulnerable to me. Wow. She couldn't be vulnerable to the kids. And I guess, like you said, I don't want you to be weak. You're going to have to be strong. So I think she overcompensated in some areas.
Man, that's good. That's man. And that's really let me and like allowing my partner to own the room where I can't.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Knowing you got it, so I'm having to show you my weakness.
Yes.
Because of the cards I was dealt, I got to show you. I got to give up the ownership for someone else, and then trust. Because
I'm gonna do it right. Yeah, that's right. You're right. You're right, and I can look at that as a husband and a wife, right?
That's good.
And that sometimes you're not the best leader in every situation. So you got to be able. That's vulnerability. Where you got to be able to relinquish some of that to your significant other. Where she may be a great money manager, right? She may be a better decorator. You know how men are. She may be a better dresser. So a lot of us don't want to wear. Me, I don't want to wear what my wife chooses to wear. I want to wear what I want to wear. So
wrong.
Where it is. And so I think there's a lot of opportunities where we have to show vulnerability, but we kind of sequester that thing to we kind of muffle as much as we can.
We do. Yeah. We do. Are you a control freak now?
I wouldn't necessarily say a control freak, but I kind of let my wife take the reins on something because I'm still trying to like in your sermon, say I'm trying to surrender to that point.
Okay.
I kind of think that's why me and her are kind of like get along a lot better now too.
Oh, so you went always this way?
Oh no, sir. No, sir.
I thought you came in the womb like this.
A lot of people think. I get that a lot.
You know a lot. But listen, the thing about it is, I'm asking you a question. One of the things about surrender is, if we look at it just a little bit different, Dave, you made a comment about money, and a lot of our young guys out there now who struggle money wise, afraid to tell their significant other or even a banker, whoever that listen, my credit score bad, that kind of stuff, to be better. Do you think we do that because we don't want to lose control? Want to give up that control?
Well, you also, when you talk about finance, you're looking at credit scores and all that. Well, I don't want to get in my personal business because now I don't know what you're going to run and tell the next person.
Wow.
And so now I feel, and I'm not saying that person will spread your business, but you come in there with a guard already up because that's something personal. That requires a vulnerability because now you get in my finances, like what stuff look like.
All right, your age, you a millennial. All right, you know what I'm saying? You still single, still out there, trying to fight singing. But listen,
fight scene.
see, we married. We're not fighting that no more. We got that part covered. I know the stuff.
Yes,
but
sir.
how like being vulnerable, like some of our young guys who like we saying how we didn't have dads who didn't show us the ropes about money management. What's the purpose of having a credit score? A good job of making sure you will be a man of your word. How do you finagle that now? Surrender that when you allow someone in that space to help you. Not saying your credit score bad.
No, I know. Well, I know it ain't bad. That's crazy work. I know better. But no, I think you have to. It goes back to finding that person you can trust, that wants to help you. You can't just release information to people out there, especially in this day and time. So once you establish a relationship with a person, and I'm big on listening to how a person talk.
Okay, that's good.
I can tell if I can trust you just by what coming out of your mouth.
Okay.
And so you kind of ease into it. Pastor, one of the things you talk about is accountability. So if I can find somebody that I can be accountable to, that I can trust, now I can ease my way in and say, hey, can this is what this situation is looking like financially. Do you have any advice? And you just kind of ease, from my perspective, let me say that, from my perspective, you ease your way into that.
So you're having, now it's my surrender, man. You kind of you took somewhere else now. I didn't see it from this angle. You took it from an angle. You're saying like, you know what? It's not that I don't want to surrender. You're talking about trust now. It's like, now can I trust you with something? Because I remember when I first told my wife some serious stuff about me when I was a child, and I said, listen, now, if I ever hear you repeat it in just a joking conversation,
That part.
I'll shut down. I'm gonna surrender some part of my life that that's personal to me. But if I ever hear you even joke about it, I'm gonna climb up. I'm not now. I just think, Richard, you saying that about a surrendered man. I think God made us the way we are because He wants us to be this way. You know what I'm saying? It will force us to rely on Him. But also, there's a part of our significant others like that part of us too. Don't surrender everything.
Yes, sir. I agree. I think, and back to your question you asked Los, my grandfather, he told me something that stuck with me forever. He's like, hey, you always want to be, your family's hero. And it stuck with me, right? So your kids, I didn't have a hero coming up. As a father, I didn't have a hero, but I found a lot of advice and a lot of mentorship from men that were in my life, uncles, my granddad, coaches, and things like that. So he's always going to be a hero. A lot of times, and I'm not going to bash on my wife, but a lot of times they'll spend that money until it run out. So they say, you always keep you something hidden because you want to be a hero to everybody, right? Especially your wife. You be like, oh my God, baby, I overspent. We was younger and we don't have it, but I overspent. I need some help with this. I'm like, oh, don't worry about it. I got it. I done hid some money in the mattress. So I'm a hero. So that always stuck with me. I always want to be my kid's hero, my wife's hero. And I know people like, how you can be your wife's hero? You can be. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm on my wife's hero. I don't want to call it Tim.
Yeah, right.
So
And the second thing I would say when we talk about, vulnerabilities and things like that, submissive, right? You have to mention the word submissive. We have to be submissive, obviously, to God. Just like our spouses will be submissive to us. And it's a bad word in most of our families. Submissive.
Right.
And I always tell my wife, baby, it ain't 0% you get, and I get 100. You get 49, and I get 51. And as I've gotten older, I've learned that it's really only a 2% difference.
Oh, I love that.
Most of the stuff, it's trivial to me at this age. You can go ahead and you want to go ahead and handle it, but it's gonna come a time where that 1 or 2%, somebody will have to make a decision.
That's good.
And usually, I'm going to be the one to take the reins and make that decision because if it fails, then it's on me.
Responsibility. So
It's on me.
Now, that's what I'm saying. I think what we're doing by talking today, I think we actually either redefining surrender or we bringing light to it. It's not what we think is all about you giving up.
Right.
It's almost like you're surrendering to take responsibility. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Right. So it's not like you're like, hands off.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, you're like, no, you still got to take responsibility. When I heard you just define that, you're like, hey man, this surrender thing ain't all about just letting go.
Right.
This surrender thing about accountability, responsibility.
Right.
I'm still responsible.
Vulnerability? Yeah, absolutely.
All the vulnerability.
And you said something, right? Sometimes it's addition by subtraction. I tell people, we all sports guys. We down by 4. They can kick a field goal.
Just use the Falcon score. Just use the Falcon score. 23.
The point is just right here. Let's say we down by 1. They got the ball on the 1 yard line, can run the clock out, and you see it almost every Sunday. Go ahead and let them score. Yeah. Let them score. I'm going to give you the score. So sometimes I got to surrender that. Give that up right now. Because guess what? I'll be controlling the narrative.
Oh, that's
you just
good.
said a minute
Good.
about what I'm going to do next.
Okay,
I'll give you that. So I use a lot of sports. I'm big into coaching. I'm big into mentoring young men.
That's good.
Like, what is sometimes you got to give it up in order to be
Man,
great.
that's good, man.
Just how
What's
I
your
can-
analogy?
I don't know if I can talk that.
Listen, can I? So I'm gonna flip the script because obviously I'm a single man and we got Pastor. Yeah, I am.
You single, huh?
I'm a single man.
Y'all ladies, you ain't trying. This is the wrong podcast. Trying to get a girlfriend.
It's like the hookup.
Well,
But his phone number is 478.
Too far.
Hey, they go just tune into the news.
Anyway, so being married men, how did y'all wife create the space for y'all to be vulnerable as husbands?
You want me to go first? I
Anybody.
think about this all the time.
Anybody.
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough one because all of us, and like you said, we're gonna keep it real. Sometimes they'll use that against you. They really will. So, and I think Pastor mentioned it with he led some things to Lady Felicia that if I ever hear you say this in a joking way, I'm clamming up. I'm shutting down. So it's a real adult conversation because sometimes they're human too. Women are more emotional than men. Sometimes argument, especially when you're younger, not now.
Yeah,
you're
you're
21 years
younger,
old.
you're
You're
younger.
younger, they'll take that very thing and cut you with. And that's what you don't want to do, I think, as a young man. So, and I think you laid it on the groundwork. If I hear you even joke about this, it's going to be a problem.
The problem, man. Shut down.
Tim.
Real quick, man.
But to answer your question, it's something I still struggle with. I definitely struggle with it.
I think it's gonna be a work in progress for all of us. It's gonna, because you think about it, at every phase in your especially because you said married, right?
Right, yes, sir.
Every phase in our marriage is a different phase. All right. So when I got married, I didn't have no children. All right. You never had a child, but that's one level of trust is vulnerability. Well, now I'm gonna get a child in high school. Never had a child in high school in my life. Another phase of vulnerability. Now I got a child going to college. All these phases are different phases where vulnerability and trust is going to have to be shown. So I think it's not just one spot.
Yes, sir.
Where you say, I don't want, I'm surrendered. I remember my daughter first brought up to Georgia State. She's going to Georgia State. I'm like, this open campus. I'm like, what? I wasn't feeling it. I was not feeling that. But now, the same dad 2 months ago saying, wherever you want to go,
Go.
Dad got you. Did you go to a place you choose? And Dad almost didn't have it. Well, I'm talking about, this is real. My vulnerabilities, it came all the way out. My control freak came all out. Now I'm thinking about, I'm gonna leave my baby up in this big city. All I'm thinking about me and protection. I'm in protection mode, not surrender mode. It was that day when she got me back home, and she like, I like, Harmony, how did you like being at the school? Her exact word to her dad was, why you ask that question? You weren't there anyway. Well, I almost lost it in that room with her. Not in a bad way.
Right.
I almost like, I've always wanted to say I would protect my daughter. And for 1 minute, she didn't feel protected. Didn't feel protected. Because I'm trying to control the whole narrative. And all she sees is, Dad, you're not allowing me in that, be my space. Now I apologize, and I had to redo that thing out, and just surrender at that moment. Surrender my own pride, my own whatever. And now she was being vulnerable to me, and that was the first time in a long time I was ever that vulnerable to my daughter. Well, that's to my wife. It's my wife. I'm in that room with my daughter. But it just fades. I think it's a phase. You ever love her, you have to find that place where you surrender. And like Derek was saying, man, how you guys just spent this thing on us, man, that surrender is not all about giving up. It's about taking responsibility also. About finding accountability. Because whatever God has placed on all us men, we surrender to God by taking responsibility. You know what I'm saying? That's surrender by doing what you are
Supposed to.
you're called to do. So, and I know we can go on. I know we got to do another segment, guys. We got to stop. We got to do another segment. We got to say it on. So listen, guys. I hope you guys have really enjoyed this Mission Critical podcast on our men edition. Listen, we're going to do a part 2 for you guys, and you'll get it next week. But listen, look how these guys just spent surrender. Listen, we just guys who have to be saved. Now we don't downplay our salvation. But we are real guys. We don't play the radio. We struggle too. You know what I'm saying? We got stuff going on. But we hope we said something today, guys, that'll help you guys understand that you can do this if you take accountability, take responsibility, and just be vulnerable when you need to, guys. I'm Dr. Levi Roselle. I hope you guys tune in next week.